Welcome to FCS Delivered, where we are just fascinated by all the games that are going on. We are knee-deep in the FCS postseason, the quarterfinals coming up, the Celebration Bowl. I'm Craig Haley, along with co-host Gary Reasons, the two-time Super Bowl champion, three-time All-American at Northwestern State. How you doing, Gary?
Well, I'm doing great, Craig. Good morning to you. And hey, congratulations to the FCS selection committee. You guys got all of it right. The top 8 seeds, well, they all took care of business, and we'll talk about it.
Yeah, that's exactly right, Gary. I mean, to have 1 through 8, it's only the third time it's happened in the 24-team era. We certainly have the right teams in the Celebration Bowl with South Carolina State and Jackson State. Now, Gary, in this episode, we are going to talk about this past weekend, look forward to this weekend's action, and we're going to have a special guest in segment 2. But let's go back to the FCS quarterfinals. Now, I think something you and I noticed here was going in, we know how good these teams are, but we noticed something, and maybe something we didn't expect going into each game, or something that really just kind of changed the outlook going forward. Let's start with the number 1 seed, Montana State. They beat UT Martin 49-17. Yes, in the big dance. Tell us what you noticed that was a little different here, Gary.
Well, teams, championship level teams, Craig, they have to be able to adapt to whatever the situation is in any game. And, you take just, for instance, Tommy Mellott, with him, you think kind of a run quarterback, a run game. But in this football game, Tommy was 22 for 25, and that was actually a career high for him, and hit 300 yards and, best career day, tying 4 touchdown passes in a game. So that's something that really comes out in great players in great moments, and it's very evident there for Montana State and Tommy Mellott.
You're exactly right. I mean, you think run game with the Bobcats, but Tommy Mellott just showed another side of him, an elite side. Now, I'll give you one for North Dakota State. I mean, obviously, the final score, 51-31 over Abilene, but it didn't go the way we all thought. It was kind of a wake-up call for the Bison. It was 17-3 in the second quarter. The Bison were down. That's the biggest deficit they've had of the year, similar to the ETSU game where they got a wake-up call, just a reminder. But then they came rolling. Jackson Williams with that 100-yard kickoff return, and then they scored on 5 straight possessions. But I think that's sort of a reminder of them, something we didn't see coming when they're playing inside the Fargo Dome. How about the national champion, Gary? South Dakota State, they beat Montana. What did you notice that stood out in this game?
Yeah, the Jackrabbits, they do get it done. And their quarterback, Mark Gronowski, he hasn't had the biggest stat year of his career. But you know what? When he gets into the playoffs, I think the switch turns on. And he had a pretty good game when it all came down to it. 12 of 16, 151 yards, and a couple of scores there. He can run the football too, a couple of touchdowns. He even caught a pass in that game. So really doing whatever the team needs to do is the mark of a great quarterback and a great player. And Mark Gronowski showed that for the Jackrabbits. And what about South Dakota, Craig?
Yeah, the 4th seed. I tell you what, they beat Tarleton State 42-31. A couple weeks ago, in fact, almost a month ago, Charles Pierce surpassed 1,000 yards rushing. He's still their leading rusher. But in their last 2 games, they've really gone, to Travis Tice. He had a huge game, 130 yards, 25 carries, 3 touchdowns. He caught the ball out of the backfield. He had a big game against North Dakota State at the end of the season. They've kind of switched to a little more power. I think that's a great thing. You got thunder and lightning with him and Charles Pierce, but that certainly stood out. 5th seed, Gary. You think offense, UC Davis, 42-10. They did beat Illinois State, but what stood out in this game?
Well, UC Davis, they kind of flexed their muscle, and they showed you that they're a very complete football team. Sure, they've got the offensive side of the ball, but really the defense was the answer here because they shut down the Redbirds from Illinois State. It just only 10 points allowed in that football game. So that defensive effort, linebacker David Myers, the defensive backs Rex and Porter Connors, all had big days for them, and it just shows you that they're a complete team. So anything can happen with UC Davis.
6 follows 5 in the seedings. And I tell you what, UIW, 6th seed, same thing as UC Davis. We think offense with both of those teams, but the defense of the Cardinals, just tremendous. 13-6 win over Villanova, just the 2 field goals. They only gave up 138 yards. They kind of clinched it in the final minutes. Mason Chambers has had a big year, the safety. He had a interception, but just a dominating effort all around. I think they're both similar. We think offense with UC Davis and UIW, but the defense really is peaking at the right time. How about Mercer, our 7th seed against Rhode Island?
Well, the 7th seed, they showed you that they are a little bit of a different team, too, because they can do a little bit of everything. And, they hadn't been behind much throughout the regular season. They only trailed in the fourth quarter a couple of times. So they were 17-10 down in the fourth quarter, and they wound up. They won there after trailing 10-7 through 3 quarters. So they won that game in a tight, close ball game, but they came back to win it in the end. So that's another factor of a team that's not relenting, and they're still continuing to play hard. So talk about the Vandals, Craig. What about Idaho?
8th seed Idaho. Here's something we noticed. This is their quarterfinal at Montana State. That's the only game within the same conference, the Big Sky, of course. Well, Montana State beat Idaho 38-7. Really just a one-sided game in the regular season. But the Vandals didn't have Jack Lane that day. He's back behind center. He started the last 3 games, including their playoff win against Lehigh, 34-3. They won. He's thrown 3 touchdowns in 3 straight games. They are a different team going to Montana State 2 months after their regular season matchup. So I tell you, this was just a tremendous, round. I mean, more close games. We've seen 7 out of the 16 playoff games have been decided by 1 possession, 8 points or fewer. I just love that we're seeing a different side of these teams as we head towards the national quarterfinals. Gary, obviously, as we get deeper into the playoffs and head towards Frisco, we're also getting ready for the FCS National Awards banquet. All 6 awards have been, announced or on TheAnalyst.com for winners, and then who's invited to the Peyton and Buchanan announcements. What are some of your impressions heading towards the national banquet in Frisco?
Well, first, thank you to the National Selection Committee, because they did a great job of voting, and I think we got a lot of great winners out there. As you said, Craig, there's six national awards that we present, and 4 of them have been announced formally here, and the last one's going to come out today, and we'll give you a little tease on that. But it is something that we understand that what it takes to get these things is it's monumental, and you become part of history when you win one of these National Legacy Awards. We start talking about Peyton, Buchanan, Rice, Robinson. Oh my goodness, HBCU National Player of the Year. It's all pretty special, and I'm really pleased to be able to talk about these awards and have a chance to share some of the legacy and the history at our awards banquet in Frisco every year, as well as you are. And we look forward to having everybody come down, and also all around the national championship game weekend. It's a fun time.
It is. Between Stats Reform, FedEx, HBCU Plus, there's just tremendous award winners, nominees, and recipients. We're going to have them in Frisco at the Stats Reform FCS National Awards Banquet. Gary, we're going to take a break here from FCS Delivered, and when we come back, we're going to have a special guest.
Bring rings to beach wedding.
FedEx presents Tall Tales of True Deliveries.
Just another day on the job.
We did this for love. See what we can do for your business. FedEx.
Welcome back to FCS Delivered, segment 2 of our podcast. Gary, you've lined up a special guest for us today. Who do you have for us?
Well, thanks, Craig. I appreciate that. And hey, we've got a very special guest. He is a punter and a kicker from North Carolina Central University, Mr. Juan Velarde. Juan, are you with us? There you are, buddy.
Yes,
hey, hello.
How y'all doing? Good morning. Thank you for having me.
Hey, man, you've had one heck of a run there. You were part of a HBCU national championship team with your football team. Talk about that experience and what it was like for you guys.
Yes, sir. Of course. So 2022 was a great year for us, North Carolina Central University, because we made it to the HBCU Nationals championship game. So that was a great accomplishment, not just for us, but for the whole Durham community, for the whole NCCU community. It was amazing. the whole experience was just unbelievable. And then at the last second, they tied the game a little bit. Let's talk about the game a little bit. They tied the game, 3 seconds left. We went to double overtime, and we ended up coming with the win. So it was just a great way to end the season with, and to bring joy to our community back in Durham.
Sure, the Eagles fans were all very happy about that, no doubt about it. Talk about yourself a little bit here. I saw a few clips now on you playing football, and in one clip particular where you were kicking a 53-yard field goal, which I believe is a school record, and you went crazy after that. Talk about that play, if you would.
Yes, sir, for sure. So I'm a true believer of put it out there what you want, it'll come to you. So right before the kick, actually, we were on the same yard line, about to kick a 53-yarder on it was third down, and I was like, please, God, let me kick the field goal. Let me kick the field goal. We end up scoring the touchdown. And then the second drive after that, after we got the ball back from Delaware State, we were in the same yard line. I got behind my Coach Oliver, and I was like, Coach Oliver, let's break the record right here. And I don't know if you heard me or not, but we didn't convert the third down, and he started calling field goal. I went out there, I did my routine. I told my holder, please give me the best hole you have right here, and let's break the school record. Gave me the perfect hole and made it through the op round. So that was a fantastic moment right there. I was excited. I was pumped. And I didn't know that was going to be my last game playing at North Carolina Central University, but it was definitely a great moment to finish my career with.
Awesome. And your celebration was tremendous. You just making your way around the field and all your teammates. That was really pretty cool. I really enjoyed watching that. You've had a tremendous career there. You've been both a punter and a kicker this year for your team, and you've done that for a number of years. And it's pretty impressive for you to be able to do that. You've also had a couple of other things come your way. The last two seasons, you were a finalist for the Doris Robinson National Award winner, and this year you were a finalist again. What's it like to be a 3-time finalist for the Doris Robinson Award?
That's a great accomplishment. We don't. I bet me and the other 12 finalists, we don't do this because of the award, but the award is amazing. We do this for the community. So since our community work and our school work, and of course the stuff we do on the field is getting recognized, it's a tremendous opportunity for us to continue to do what we're doing, because we're trying to inspire the next generation to try to be better than us, right? And I think I'm the only player for the past 3 years that have been a finalist 3 times and haven't won it yet. So it's just being a great accomplishment. Being able to tell people that I have been finalist for the Doris Robinson Award for so many years now is definitely a great thing for my family, for me as well, but for my community as well, to try to show and represent my school at the highest level, which is the national level in this case.
Yeah, you've done a great job. You've been in the community, over 200 hours community service. You've been in schools. You talk with kids and you do different programs with them. That is really a lot of work off the field. You're a great student. You're a 4.0 business graduate. Talk about your business aspirations.
Yes, sir, for sure. Like you mentioned, I'm fortunate. I'm really blessed to be in a position to hold a 4.0 just an undergrad, and now doing my MBA as well. I'm holding a 4.0, so that's amazing. In the future, I would like to open my own business. I was born in Peru, South America, and we have the number one, together with Ethiopia, the number one coffee in the world. Organic coffee in the world. So in the future, I would like to make a bridge between Peru and the United States, and that way bring coffee into the US and try to sell it here and make a living out of it, because I want for the Peruvian coffee to be known globally.
Juan's Café de Peru, ¿es correcto?
Yes, sir.
All right. Coffee from Peru. Okay. Just correct. Hey, I got something I want to share with you, man. I've been telling you this is going to be all about special teams, but really, Juan, I want you to know something. It's all about you, buddy, because you are special. You have been selected as the 2024 FedEx Doris Robinson FCS Scholar Athlete of the Year. Congratulations.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much. Whoa. Thank you. I really appreciate that. You know, that means a lot. I'm really excited about it. I don't even know what to say, but thank you so much. I really appreciate that.
Hey, well, it's very deserved, and you're going to come see us in Frisco, Texas, around the National Championship weekend as we present all of our FCS National Legacy Awards. You'll be there right with the Walter Payton Award finalists, the Buck Buchanan finalists, Eddie Robinson Coach of the Year, and also the Jerry Rice Freshman Player of the Year. And you are the 2024 Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete Award winner. Congratulations, Juan, on what a wonderful career that you have had there at NCCU. You're a part of a national championship team. You've got a great career ahead of you because of your business and school acumen, and you've really done a great job in the community. And that's what this is all about. And we have a partner, and our partner is FedEx, and you really align with some of the core values and principles that they have as a company because they enjoy having student athletes participate in their business, and they think that the camaraderie and the spirit and really the competitiveness of athletes really kind of sings to kind of who they are. And so FedEx is very appreciative of fostering relationships with student athletes and then advancing like you have your career, and you got a bright future, young man, and you will be in Frisco, Texas, and you will have a chance to visit with the FedEx senior leadership. We'll have, I know my college teammate, John A. Smith, will be there. He's the CEO of FedEx, and also Carlos is going to be there, and he's going to love to talk to you about all the different things that you guys do on the field and all that stuff. So congratulations again. And I think this is a fun thing for you to have, as part of your legacy and really something that you can bring forward. And I think you can be a great ambassador for FCS football and HBCU football as well.
Yes, sir. Most definitely. I'm really excited to go up to Texas and have to talk to some really important people, meet new people, and also share the stage with the HBCU National Player of the Year, which definitely was he was a great player this year as well. So I'm really excited about it, and I can't wait for it. And again, thank you so much, and I'm really appreciative of it.
Well, awesome, Juan. Let's bring Craig back in here. Let him talk to you a little bit. He's got some thoughts on this award and you receiving it.
Gentlemen, that was thrilling to listen to. Juan, just fabulous. We know so much about you already, but to hear you tell your story is tremendous. Congratulations once again for being the 2024 FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete of the Year. Congratulations to Coach Oliver and the entire North Carolina Central program. Just a thrill to learn more about you, Juan, and a pleasure to hear everything that you do off the field. Wonderful indeed.
And I'm going to give this to you in person, okay? Don't worry about it. It's coming. And there's more. There's more at the awards presentation. So congratulations again, Juan, and you're a gooder, my friend.
Thank you so much. I really appreciate it.
Gentlemen, we're going to take a quick break from FCS Delivered, and when we come back, we will have our final segment. Welcome back to FCS Delivered, our third and final segment. Wow, Gary, we just visited with Juan Velarde, the FedEx Doris Robinson Scholar Athlete of the Year. A remarkable young man. Ooh, I tell you, we are looking forward to seeing him in Frisco. And on our way to Frisco, we have the 4 national quarterfinals of the FCS playoffs. We're also going to do our pick'ems with the 9th Celebration Bowl down in Atlanta, South Carolina State versus Jackson State. Let's get right to it, Gary. First quarterfinal is number 8, Idaho at the top seed, Montana State, 9 p.m. Friday Eastern on ESPN. It's an all Big Sky matchup, and we mentioned earlier, a rematch of Montana State's regular season win. We've each been picking a player to watch in each game. Today in our pick'ems, let's give a key for each team. Who do you got?
Well, I think that Idaho learned a little something about Montana State in that first matchup, and can they get enough power and enough energy to overcome them? Now they've got to go on the road to win, and I think that is something that's going to be a challenge for them. So because Montana State, they are electric, they play great at home, and I think they're going to continue to keep pounding the rock. So Montana State, they won 38-7, on October 12th, and I'm just curious if that could even go up in this ball game, because I think that Montana State is out for for a big effort here. And Idaho, while they do have Jack Lane back, Craig, you talked about that earlier. I think that there's probably just a little bit here where Montana State wants to say, hey, we're going to get over Idaho again in a big way.
So you're picking Montana State.
Correct.
All right, I'm going to do the same, but I'm going to give you a little bit to think about. Montana State can't really play from behind. Idaho's a talented team, played a great schedule this year. The Bobcats have not been behind too much. They were behind in their opener against FBS New Mexico, but only to one opponent on the FCS level was the UC Davis game for maybe a quarter or less. So they don't want to be falling behind and give Idaho too much to think about pulling an upset. All right, let's go to our second game. It's UC Davis, the 5 seed. They're at number 4, South Dakota. It's 3 p.m. Eastern Saturday. It's on ESPN+. The first meeting since 2015 for these teams. I'm going to pick South Dakota, and I'll tell you what. If I think South Dakota has to be the more physical team in this one because of the UC Davis offense. Missouri Valley teams, it's a staple. Obviously, playing physical. I think they have to get after Miles Hastings, the UC Davis quarterback. But I think that's the thing. They have to play physical and really show that in this matchup because it's the tightest matchup of the quarterfinals. What do you notice in UC Davis, Gary?
Well, I think that this can be a very close game, Craig, and it could be a really, really tight one down to the end. For Davis, I think that they have to utilize all of their weapons. Lon Larison, he's going to get the ball in his hands a number of times. But there's a lot of guys on that football team with Davis that, they've got 3 guys that are just 5 different players with about 500 yards receiving. So they can spread the ball around when they pass the thing. And if they can get a very competent passing game, with Miles Hastings, it might be something very, very good for them in that football game. So I've got UC Davis in a close win over Idaho on the road.
That it is a toss-up game. I'll stick with the Coyotes, but wow, you are right. You could see a UC Davis win. All right, our third semifinal, number 6 seed UIW. It's at the 2-time national champion South Dakota State, the 3 seed. Noon on Saturday, ESPN. It's a rematch of the regular season, 45-24. South Dakota State won, kind of pulling away in a big non-conference game. Who are you picking here? And give us a reason for that team.
Well, I'm taking South Dakota State, and really, I think all they have to do here is just play like who they are, and that is the defending national champions, and take the lead. Get in control of this football game from the start and put UIW in the rearview mirror, and everything will fall into place for them, Craig.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, they were ultra impressive in beating in Montana last week. I think the same script gets them through. I'm going to go with South Dakota State, but here's what UIW has to do. They have to really show that they can win the line of scrimmage. That's how South Dakota State, they dictate games, win games. UIW has to win at the line of scrimmage. And that experience of playing in Brookings will certainly help here. All right, last semifinal, number 7, Mercer at number 2, North Dakota State, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Saturday. It's on ABC. It's the first ever meeting. North Dakota State, 36-1 in FCS playoff games inside the Fargo Dome. What do you notice in this game?
I think that there's a lot going into the favor of North Dakota State here because they're playing at home, familiar territory, and this is a team that is, I think, got the national championship picture in their crosshairs. So I like North Dakota State in this one, and their running back, freshman running back Marty Brown is electric, and I think that he's going to have an opportunity to put that on display to a big audience here. And I think that that could be the end of Mercer season.
Yeah, I certainly like the Bison, but the one thing, Mercer, have had a great year. They're going to have to handle the crowd, handle the moment of their first national quarterfinal on the FCS level. The big assignment, obviously, the Bison are a huge favorite here. All right, one more game. We mentioned the Celebration Bowl. The MEAC champ, South Carolina State, taking on Jackson State. It's down in Atlanta, the Mercedes-Benz Stadium. It's a toss-up as well. I'm going to go with South Carolina State. I think they're a slight underdog. They did beat Jackson State back in 2021 in this game, 31-10. It was a kind of a shocking little bit of a blowout. What do you think of this game, and who are you picking?
Well, way back when we started the FCS on campus this season, I went to Jackson State, and I was enthralled there because of TC Taylor, the head coach, and he has got this program humming. So I think Jackson State, they have got everything right in front of them, right aligned where they need to go. I think they're going to take care of business in the Celebration Bowl. It's going to be a wonderful ball game, but I think Jackson State pulls it out.
It's a great matchup. I mean, you could ask 10 people, and it's going to be a 5-5 split. So, yes, the Celebration Bowl, we're looking forward to that. It's noon Saturday on ABC. Looking forward to it greatly. All right, so you see our picks. Now, Gary, I'm ready for all these games this weekend. Friday, Saturday, it's just a great 2 days of action. I know you're looking forward to it. Whew, you're going to be watching them all, correct?
I'm going to try to tune in a little bit. You know, it's wonderful to have that ESPN Plus app, and you can watch, you can bounce around and get some things that are going on. And really, they're all staggered out throughout the day, so you can catch a little bit of all of these football games. And that's what I'm going to try to do. So you see the numbers there. You know, it starts early and it ends, and it's going to be a wonderful long day of FCS championship football.
Well, the right teams have made it this far into December. We're all looking forward to it. We hope everybody enjoys this weekend's games. We will be back next week to break it all down and look forward to the national semifinals. We thank Juan Velarde for being our special guest today. This is FCS Delivered. We will see you next week.